How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pokémon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Last time was kind of like one of those Hollywood filler movies where, like, 90% of the movie nothing happens and then the last 10% of the movie gets really exciting, because we explored more of Pony Island, but we ended up meeting Looker and Annabelle of the International Police at the beginning, and then it was kind of a bunch of battling. Then we made our way toward the Battle Tree, where we got our second to last totem sticker after so long of looking. Then we found the last one back on Akala Island at the Hano Grand Resort under a Sandy Gas. And then we also picked up the exclusive Z crystal for Komodo, the Commonium Z, where we ended up also showing off the exclusive Z move. Anyway, this time we are back here on Ula Ula Island because there are a couple of things that we can do now that we have caught that Zygarde at the Resolution Cave in Pony Island. So let's go ahead and make our way over to the Aether House over here. Almost missed the door. So you're the one who caught the Zygarde that appeared in Resolution Cave, Champion. We were also able to catch a Zygarde. Impressive, but there are two of them? Correct, two Zygarde. The Zygarde you fought and captured in Resolution Cave is in its 50% form, and the Zygarde we found is what is known as its 10% form. That's right, 50% and 10%. Zygarde can use various forms depending on the situation. It is quite a unique Pokemon, don't you agree? If you're interested, I'll give you the Zygarde we caught. You could combine the two to see what will happen, but only if you can beat me. I'm up for the challenge. Then, I'll let my precious partners go wild. Here we go, we have been once again challenged by Pokemon trainer Dexio. This time though, he has 6 Pokemon instead of 5. His team is fairly the same compared to when we just fought him back on Pony Island, only like 2 or 3 episodes ago. So, other than his new Pokemon, I don't really feel the need to actually go over what he has for his team and like what his stats are. So, just refer back to that previous episode where we fought Dexio when he showed us the power of Mega Evolution for basic moveset information, type information, ability information. I don't believe they play any trickery and change some abilities or anything, so yeah, I'm just saying. The next Pokemon that Dexio is going to send out is Alakazam. I believe it's still capable of Mega Evolution, I'm just not 100% sure. Oh no, it is not Mega Evolving. Okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense, because technically Alakazam is no longer his ace on this team, so it kind of makes sense. So that is one change that happened. I guess this Alakazam cannot Mega Evolve now, which, again, is a little weird, because you'd think that he would still Mega Evolve his Pokemon, but it is what it is. Anyway, Dexio's going to send out Metagross next. Okay. We're just gonna keep using Shadow Claw. I mean, it's super effective, being tried and true, has that chance of being a critical hit, so we might as well just keep using it. Don't wanna break what's not broken. Brick break. Speaking of breaking, trying to break my face. Alright, let's go ahead. Bullet Punch. That's probably gonna take me out. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's see. I think I'll send Elizabeth out, just because. Super effective, you know, with our Earth Power, or our Shadow Ball, either or. Here comes Meteor Mash, that's probably gonna do a hefty amount. No, we took it. Alright, Elizabeth, I see you. Earth Power is enough to take out Metagross though, which is awesome. And the leftovers is going to restore some HP on Elizabeth. Alright, next up is going to be Slowking. We will stay in because we do have Water Compaction, so even if it wants to use its Water move, we will be perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and use Shadow Ball since it is same type attack bonus. We do still outspeed, so putting the Slow in Slowking. It did live. It's going to go for Ice Beam. That does a lot of damage. Leftover's gonna heal us up a little bit, but I'm still fairly concerned because, you know, that is a lot of damage to be dealt with. But Slowking is gonna go down to a Shadow Ball, so we're okay here. Alright, Dexio is going to be sending his only new Pokemon out for this fight. It is going to be 10% form Zygarde, a Ground and Dragon type, or Dragon Ground type, I guess, with Aura Break for the ability. Okay, I mean, our best bet is probably... I mean, we're not going to be out... We're going to be outsped, so it's just a matter of if we do survive, what do we want to use, but... we are sadly not going to get that option. Okay, I guess I'll just send Venom out and use Dragon Pulse? I mean, I might as well, right? We do outspeed, even though 10% form Zygarde is a little bit speedier than its other forms. And there we go, down goes Zygarde to 1 Dragon Pulse. Excellent. Beast Boost gonna come to play, gonna raise up our speed. Love that, love that. And Dexio's final Pokemon is going to be a Alolan Raichu. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and switch out into Glenn. Not gonna take any risks. Venom is already about half beaten anyway, so even if we did outspeed, which it's an Alolan Raichu, I don't expect to, I'd just rather go ahead and use X-Scissor just to see if I can finish it off in one shot. It's gonna go for Light Screen to set up, but newsflash, Dexio, this Raichu's your last Pokemon, and again, I used a physical attack instead of a special attack, so you went for the wrong move 2 battles in a row, buddy. With that, we have defeated Pokemon Trainer Dexio. Not only did we find Zygarde, but I also had a chance to battle the champion. Coming to Alola was definitely a good decision. Take good care of Zygarde, please. Not only did we recently catch a Zygarde, but now we've obtained one for free. No, we will not be giving this 10% Zygarde a nickname. We are going to send it to the box. Now, allow me to explain the reassembly unit. Sina, you don't even waste a second. The reassembly unit is a device that has something to do with Zygarde. The machine is capable of assembly and separation of Zygarde. Assembly is to change the form of Zygarde. Now, Dexio, it's your turn. Oh, Sina, Sina, Sina. Anyway, there are 2 ways to assemble Zygarde. One is to add cells you collected to Zygarde. The other is to create a new Zygarde with only cells. You see, Zygarde can change its form by gathering parts of itself, known as cells. Next, we'll explain about separation. To separate Zygarde, it means to return Zygarde to its cells. Separated cells will be returned to the Zygarde Cube. For your information, according to the research by the professor who sent us to Alola, Zygarde is divided into 100 cells and cores. Depending on the number of cells and cores, the shape of Zygarde will be different. In other words, Zygarde changes its form. Oh, I almost forgot. We need to give you the Zygarde Cube, too. We've obtained a Zygarde Cube. It also has 40 Zygarde cells we gathered. Zygarde is said to maintain the order of the Kalos region. So then, why is it in Alola? Does it have something to do with the Ultra Beasts that have appeared? Who knows? Maybe Zygarde itself will tell us someday. Anyhow, we will be taking our leave now. Bon voyage! And back to the Kalos region they go. I've played quite a bit of Legends EA. I don't think they're in the game, just like Professor Sycamore isn't in that game, which is a little weird, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so, assemble and separate. We can go ahead and press assembly. We can use Zygarde and the Zygarde Cube, but we do not have one on our person. Okay, so we do need Zygarde with us in order to do this. Yes, we will quit. I guess I can go ahead and grab a Zygarde, but... basically, what you can do, you can rebuild Zygarde to make a 100% form. And the 100% form is very, very, very redonkulously broken. It is an all-powerful Pokemon, and you do not want to mess with an 100% Zygarde. Really quickly, I'm going to stop in here and heal up my Pokemon, and then we're going to go to our next thing. For our next stop on our journey backtracking throughout Alola, we need to step into the Ula Ula Meadow and come all the way over here, going toward this area to the top right. Welcome to the Lake of the Sun, at least in Ultra Moon. In Ultra Sun, instead, you will be at the Lake of the Moon. Also, hey, the Ultra Recon Squad is here.
It seems that Alola brushes right up against another world, very much like this one. Could this be the influence of ultra wormholes? It is most fascinating. It seems I will never run out of things to investigate in this world.
Personally, I would rather conclude these investigations to take on the Pokémon League. No, I mean, I'm fully dedicated to any investigation Captain Fico wishes to pursue. Ah, nice little hint of maybe something to come. Let's step inside of the altar of the sun, or altar of the moon, depending on your version, and pick up TM03 Psyshock, a very, very good move. Is there any other item over here? Nope. Alright, let's go ahead and continue forward to actually reach the altar. In a second, we just gotta go through all of this rubble. It's a grand epic hallway. It kind of reminds me of what I would imagine the lead up to Wickstrom's room in the Elite Four of X and Y would be, if they had like grand 3D rooms. Okay, and now we are officially at the altar. So, when you bring the legendary Pokemon with you to the altar, depending on your version and your time of day, a dimensional rift will be present here at the altar wormhole thingy-mabobber. And essentially, with that rift, you can travel through dimensions to the opposite game, basically. But it's not like completely accurately the other game. It basically allows you to encounter Pokemon that are exclusive to different times, but essentially what it all boils down to is the ability to get a gifted Cosmog. So instead of catching Nebby in its fully evolved form, you can train up a brand new Nebby that you get by going to an alternate dimension. It's actually really, really cool, and I like that they included that. So basically, you could, in theory, have a Solgaleo and a Lunala in the same game. It's really, really cool. Anyway, that's just a little tidbit I wanted to mention. So, now that we're done with that, there's only one real place that we haven't fully explored since episode RR ended, and that would be the Aether Paradise. So, let's return to Aether Paradise for the first time in about 10 episodes, and let's see what we can do here. Alright, so if we enter Aether Paradise, the one thing that I want to do... Yes, okay, there you are. I want to talk to Miss Wiki.
Master James, welcome back. Master Gladion left to travel to Kanto and Johto, so far away from here.
For training, or is he taking a vacation?
Honestly, I cannot imagine Master Gladion ever taking a vacation. But I know he can make it anywhere he goes on his own. No, not on his own. With his Pokémon. I've heard that he even patched up his own clothing when it got torn up by his partner, Type Null. Master Gladion is once again taking charge of his own life, and is this time heading to Kanto and nearby regions to train himself. Oh, I'm sorry. You probably aren't interested in hearing about that sort of thing, are you? Here, please accept this.
We've obtained yet another Big Malasada. Wiki and her Big Malasadas, man, I tell ya.
Oh, and take another too.
And yet another Big Malasada.
Now, I'll be returning to the conservation area to look after the Pokémon.
Okay, well, simple as that. So Miss Wiki ended up giving us a fair amount of items, I believe. No, I do not want to talk to you. I want to talk to one of the desk folk. So, is it you I want to talk to? Yes! Beast Balls! We can buy 1 or 10 Beast Balls at a time. And trust me, you are going to want to stock up on your Beast Balls. That's why I have like 1,000,000 Pokédollars, because I am ready to stock up on a bunch of Beast Balls. Alright, and I think I ended up buying about 70 Beast Balls, which honestly is probably overkill, but you know, I mean, I did say I'm probably going to need them. Anyway, intern Faba here, you could rematch him. He says that he's changed his ways, but I really don't trust the guy. But yeah, you can have rematches with Faba if you would like. His Pokemon, I believe, are around level 63 for the rematch, and it's just consistently those levels. Anyway, the last thing I believe we need to discuss is this guy, this janitor. Team Rocket sure did mess the mansion up in all kinds of ways. I found these lying around. I'll give them to you to say thanks for your hard work. So, this janitor here. If you strictly speedran the Team RR, Episode RR stuff, and just completely ignored items, went through all of the proper warping, and made your way to Giovanni, this guy would give you every single item that you missed. And that's basically what he just did for us now. So, we missed 3 items overall in Episode RR, and he gives them all to you. So, if you missed one, if you missed all, he gives them no matter what. With that, though, that is everything, I believe, here in Aether Paradise, although I could have sworn that we actually did have one more thing that we needed. Maybe I'm forgetting something, but I believe Wiki is supposed to give us some items related to legendary Pokemon? Maybe we have to fight Faba first for that, though? I'm not entirely sure. Wiki did say she was going to the conservation area, so I'm just gonna head up there real quick, check in with her one more time, maybe see if she gives us them this time, Hey, Lusamine is active. Hey, Lusamine, how you doing?
I am Lusamine. I am the president of this foundation and mother to Gladian and Lily. And while I pour my love into protecting Pokémon and my children from pain, I will also try to be strong enough to watch over them without interfering from now on. That would be an even more beautiful kind of love, wouldn't you say? I learned to think this way after watching you, young James.
Okay, so Wiki does not give us these items. Maybe we go to the labs then to get them? Let's head into the lab. I just want to really check real quick just to be 100% sure. Alright, in the first room. There we go. Okay. I could have sworn I read that Wiki gives you these items, but nonetheless, an Aether Foundation employee will give you the DNA splicers, a prison bottle, and a Soul Dew.
These are items related to Pokémon that Madame Lusamine hoped to meet someday. If you like, I can tell you what any of them does.
Alright, so instead of the Aether Foundation employee explaining it, I will. DNA splicers. If you had a Kyurem, Reshiram, and Zekrom, you could fuse Kyurem with either Reshiram or Zekrom, and then also split them back up. The prison bottle. It makes Hoopa from the Kalos region turn into its unbound form. And then the Soul Dew, you could give it to either Latios or Latios from the Hoenn region. That's kind of dark, man. Talking about cryogenic Pokemon sleeping, that's wild. Anyway, now that we have those items in hand, I'm so glad I went down to look for them, by the way, because I could have sworn Wiki was supposed to give them to you. I was about to go and fight Faba just so I could get those items from Wiki. Boy, I tell ya. With that, though, we are done here at the Aether Paradise. Yeah, there really was not much to the Aether Paradise. It's a small man-made island, so what do you expect, I guess? But with that, that is going to do it for this episode of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Next time, we're going to be returning to a very, very special spot. We're going to be returning to the Altar of the Moon. Because, speaking of Ultra Beasts and wormholes and all of that stuff that we've been hearing about throughout today's episode, this wormhole is still present, which means there's still things we have left to explore inside of Ultra Space. Until then, though, thank you for watching, and I will catch you later.